Christmas, our special series on giving and sharing continues with this next story by generously giving the gift of time and sharing memories with the elderly.
Victoria Ong looks at some meaningful ways to spend time with seniors who have dementia.
Cooking fried bee-hoon, coloring familiar objects, and telling stories about the good old days. These are some activities held at the Dementia Ward of St. Andrew's Community Hospital in Singapore as part of their Reminiscence Therapy program.
Reminiscence Therapy is about sharing memories of the past events, activities and experience by using tangible objects, or either that by using some sensory objects. That, for example, perhaps the smells of the cooking activities, or either that just by going to the garden, the smells of the flowers. All this will also bring about some fond memories as well. Sometimes patients have very short-term memory loss, which means that, let's say, for example, now I'm doing cooking activities with them. So some of the patients who are quite moderate dementia, they may not be able to remember, say, a few hours later.
However, persons with early to middle stage dementia tend to retain most of their long-term memory, which is why patients like 73-year-old Madam Wong are encouraged to share their life story.
The life stories actually is to get her to relate to what was her childhood like, and in her younger days, what was she like as a person. It's also good because family members get to know her better. In fact, some of the family members tell me that they didn't even know their mother has been working so hard. There was once the family members told me that the mom actually worked 2 jobs to sustain the family.
Medically speaking, why is this helpful for persons with dementia?
Actually, it doesn't stop the progression of the dementia itself. It actually brings about good feelings when they are doing reminiscence therapy. They realize that someone is listening to them. Someone is not looking at dementia, but is looking at who they are and who they were. I think that is important. The dementia is just a disease, but there is a person behind this dementia.
With the rise of reminiscence therapy, educational toy store owner Carrie Chan saw a corresponding demand for nostalgic activity books. She soon realized there was a gap in the market for material that seniors in Singapore could relate to. That led Carrie to create 2 activity books filled with items commonly found in Singapore decades ago.
I dug out a lot of things from my mom's treasures. They were her photo albums, her old clothes, and my father's stationeries. So from there, I realized that these are the things that seniors could relate to. So along the way, I also pester my friends to ask them to show me the family's photo albums. And then every weekend, we would go to the Sungai Road Market in Chinatown. So to find more things that were found in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s.
Just tell me a little bit about what's in here.
We started off with different activities. So for example, like the first activity we have is dot to dot, and we make it very simple with very few instructions. Basically, it's just icons. So this shows that they can join the dots, and this little icon here shows that after that, if they choose to color, they can do so.
What is the aim of the book?
One objective is to evoke memories, and the other one is to have a conversation with their family members. So in a way, the caregivers can get to know them better.
So aside from the 2 activity books, I understand you have recently released some new material. Can you tell me about that?
We created a series of puzzles, which I call life stories. So we were very careful in choosing the images of our puzzles. So we have to make sure that the puzzles are age appropriate and stage appropriate. Age appropriate, you realize that we have selected images that dignify and respectful, nothing of the juvenile theme.
You mentioned earlier about it being stage appropriate. What do you mean by that?
Puzzles is available from 6 to 24 pieces. Also, for someone with very mild dementia, she can attempt the 24-piece puzzle. Then somebody with a bit moderate dementia, they can try the 6-piece puzzle. You really don't want to frustrate or agitate them by giving them a puzzle that is too difficult for their skill level.
So how are the puzzles different from the activity books in terms of how the seniors react to it?
Some seniors want to do the puzzles over and over again. And also there's research that shows that if they're doing a puzzle and if they're focusing on the images long enough, it acts as a form of meditation. So it do give them some calm and some joy.
Bringing joy to her mother who has dementia was a key factor in Elizabeth Lee's decision to try reminiscence therapy.
I was always thinking of how to engage my mom's mind. You know, she loves singing, yes. She likes to read the newspapers. I even made styrofoam cups. You know, I would draw pictures so we can do matching together, you know. But somehow she wasn't so interested. After a while, she would lose interest. Even doing the activity book, there are good days and bad days. Some days, she would just pause, you know, and she can't decide. And she would just get lost. But some good days, for 3-4 hours, she can sit there with me and we can accomplish so much. And then she can just go on and she's so happy, you know. And then she'll choose the colors and she'll create this and create that. And then I'll tell her, Mom, date it, you know, so you know when you have accomplished this, you know.
Were there any surprises along the way that you discovered about your mom?
I never knew she could color so well. I never knew she had this artistic part of her, you know. But I realized that all these things must come with someone giving attention. Don't leave the book right in front of the person. He or she may not have the interest at all, because it's part of one of the reasons I think for this activity book is to bond with the person. So as you're sitting there encouraging the person and talking and reminiscing, Ma, you know, so how was it, you know, why, how did you wear your cheongsam, you know, was it this length, was it this color? You sort of bond with her and she bonds with you because you are helping her think about her past, and it can be very, very happy memories that she wants to share with you, but you have to help her.
Taking time to reflect on the past is one way to build new memories with loved ones. And perhaps some hidden talent and laughter may surface along the way.
I've never heard of reminiscence therapy, but it's a great way to reconnect with people.
Absolutely.
Especially those with dementia, and you know, it's nothing better than using your sight, sound, taste. What else do we have? Sight,
Touch.
sound, touch. Yeah, exactly. To jot the memory.
And hearing as well.
Yeah, exactly. Get those synapses firing
So nice
again.
to see their
Beautiful.
smiling faces again.
Absolutely.
From Elizabeth and her mom.
Nice story.